You fucking goofs.
Oh, excuse me.
Okay. We're just setting things up, and I'm just doing a little bit of sending some notes out, and then we will begin.
I need to know what I need for my spells.
Your weapon. Your weapon
I
is
need
your
1d10.
Oh yeah, that thing.
I need 1d10.
Okay, let's do
I need 1d12 actually. Wow. And I need a 1d8. I usually need
Do
1d8
you
also for a
happen
weapon.
to do you? I know you probably haven't done yet. Do you have the link to the stream? I told my friend I was going to send it to them.
I will absolutely send it to you in just a moment. Give me a second.
Perfect.
I'm going to post it.
Perfect. I actually have all the dice I need. Oh, and I need a d20. Yeah.
Sorry everybody for taking the time I am. I'm just getting things set up, and then we will begin.
It gives everyone time to make sure everything's all correct.
What's correct? I don't know.
Not like this.
Where is it? Where is it? Oh, right there. Click. Yeet.
How dare you!
Who done anything? No!
Eh,
No!
eh.
You took it from my hand.
I'm
did,
scared
and
what
I
I'm going to
don't-
come back
I
into.
don't know I don't know where my piece went actually. Where did you? Where did it go?
Okay. Going to start sending out everything myself
Please.
promos, and then we'll begin.
I don't know. Where did it go? I just
Oh
thought
no.
she was just supposed to come back. Did I
I didn't
accidentally
do it.
throw it into the abyss?
Did you?
Oh no, there he is. I found
Oh,
him.
where was
He
he?
was sticking on the side of the box over here.
Okay.
He was literally floating like right here.
Oh,
I love that.
Chat
Sorry,
Pablo,
all
scream my mother's
I
dangerous.
just like took him and
Silence.
just like
Silence there, Absinthe. You will sit there and you will sit patiently.
Oh,
My friend Absinthe Bitters, who's very sassy thing.
Oop, shit.
Just throw myself on every possible thing so everybody can tell me to stop pinging in their servers. But there's nothing they can do. I exist to ping. Okay, we're about ready. I think. Pretty sure we are. Okay, so before I lower the screen here, everyone got their dice set up? Yes, yes, yes. Excellent. All right. Let me start
let's
deleting
see.
my mass horde of dice.
The mass dice hold, but we want the dice hold.
No, he will not have the dice horde.
Damn.
Dice whore?
But we have to. Huh?
Don't you dice whore me. Okay.
That's what I thought
All right. Anyways, while the psychopaths are having
We
crazy
have already
nuts,
had one fucking mic peek of this session. Thank you.
the mic peaks are real. Anyways, hello everybody. Welcome to my Zeal Dragoon based. I'm kidding. Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. I have with myself four of my friends here, who's going to be my beloved suckers, and yeah, we're gonna have some fun rolling some dice. Going from left to right, we have my good friend Hidden over there.
Golden Tog.
He is. You want to introduce yourself a little bit there, my good man?
Ah!
That's
Just expect shenanigans is all I can really say.
fair. Let's see. Next one over is it's Taren. Taryn, your
Hello.
mic is muted. There you go.
I unmuted. Yeah. Taryn, or my character is going to be Hobbs. I'm probably going to be the one who's most reasonable of the group because I know these people.
That is true.
That's a slightly bold claim.
That's a slightly bold claim.
Okay, going next one down is my manager, Rukun.
Hello. I'm gonna be playing Newt. I'm gonna be a complete
Menace to
gremlin.
society.
Yes, exactly. A menace to society. I'm the queen of Mike Peaks.
So many Mike Peaks.
Valid.
As you can tell, things, by the way, are a little bit scuffed. I apologize if it seems like I'm doing things as I'm having everyone explain their stuff. I did not have enough time to get things out of the way I wanted it to in time. It's fine, though. It's fine. All right, next one is Kanoko. Say hi.
I am Kinoko.
Anything you want to you want to say about yourself there?
Here comes a new Kinoko challenger.
Excellent. And so, with from left to right, the characters that they'll be playing. First off, we have Callan, I think his name. How did I pronounce it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have Callan, who is a warlock Yanti. He has a sword. He's also has a kobold retainer. His kobold retainer's named Skeets.
We love Skeets.
Love Skeets. With Turan, they have the great kobold artificer, or not kobold, what I'm saying, goblin artificer, Hobbs.
Yes.
Absolute menace to society and everyone around them.
Making everything that he should not.
Yes. Let me do this real quick. There we go. Sorry, I had to set something up real fast. Next on our list there, we have, with Rukun's character, Newt.
Hello.
It is a kobold with a very big kazoo, a kazoo that they wield like a club.
Yes. Be very intimidated by my musical prowess.
Oh, and a lisp.
You
Listen.
have given her too much power already.
Listen up here.
Listen up here.
Listen up.
Listen.
Oh, God. And,
So it
Go.
begins.
and lastly is Gozen, the turtle barbarian. A wanderer from far-off lands.
He goes in where he pleases.
Okay.
Teenage Mutant Portal time.
Let's see here. One little thing I'm going to do beforehand. Okay. So, while that's going on, there's going to be a few rules that I'm going to explain about 5th edition to everybody, including a few homebrew rules I'm going to be using, so you all are going to be up to date. First off, this is the most important item of this campaign. It is a chicken. You're probably looking at yourself and probably looking at me like, what do you mean it's a chicken? Yes, it is a chicken. The chicken is the most important object of this campaign. Please memorize it. Know every detail. It is key that you do so. Excellent. So, for a little bit more context, without sounding like a madman,
Too late.
the chicken is going to be used in place for something called inspiration. Essentially, when the players want to roll a d20 dice, i.e. for an attack against an enemy or to pass a check, then they can instead use this chicken for a reroll in case they roll poorly. Now, the other features about this. This is going by 5th edition rules, so it's going to be taking place with 5 actions, which is going to be the movement action, attack action, bonus action, reaction, and a free action. For a bit of context, movement actions are going to be the allowable movement of every player. Attack actions are just as said. When you pick up things, lift things, attack things, so and so, that's going to be an attack. A bonus action is going to be used by certain skills. Reactions is going to be used by certain abilities or by the enemy leaving a zone or something like that. And for free actions, it's going to be doing things like talking, moving, talking, small movements, dropping things, or picking up very light objects. Essentially, everything's happening within around a 5 to 10 second period. And I'm just letting that be explained as that because it's probably going to be a little bit wonky otherwise. Other key notes about this. Homebrew rules that I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using a specialty booklet specifically for critical hits. This means that when a player deals a critical hit, it won't just be a simple damage increase. It can be a myriad of effects, including disabling enemies, making them drop their weapons, and so and so. Very many little features based on not just what weapon they're using, but what element they're using. On top of that, the players themselves, while they are immune from the effects of this advanced criticals, I think they could still play a really big part into it. The advanced criticals also have one extra feature that I am allowing into it. One dice of the critical hit will always be the maximum damage. So if they're getting a critical hit and they have 2d8s, one of them will always be an 8, the other one is the one that they roll. Instead of, getting 2 1s and then basically just lightly tapping them with a critical hit. The next feature is going to be what I have basically called dramatical failures. Instead of a natural one just being a simple failure or being something that's a direct hindrance to the party at all times, dramatical failures is a new system that I came up with based on the Star Wars tabletop game, where even a failure can turn into some interesting story plot points. For example, maybe you missed a shot and the shot went wide. It hit a boulder, and now the boulder's rolling down. Well, it didn't just roll down toward you. Possibly it could have rolled down toward the rest of the enemies. Maybe you swung wide with your sword and put out a fire. Now everything is dark, but hey, you all have night vision. The enemies don't. Things like that. So a natural one could be beneficial, but it could be a hindrance. It all depends on context of the area. If I can't think of anything, it's just going to be a miss. The last thing that is going to be involved into this is, and I'm saying this as somebody who has to say this, the rule of cool still applies. If something's really cool, if something sounds really funny, if something sounds amazing, I will take priority over that over most things. So as long as it's not absurd, if you want to go wild and do something crazy, go by all means. If chat at any point thinks that somebody did or said something seriously amazing or just really cool or something like that and they deserve a reward, they will receive the chicken. If I think that they did something great or amazing and deserves an award, they will also receive the chicken. But yeah, beyond that, everything is pretty much standard for the most part. So I hope you'll all enjoy and get ready for the fun times of these complete chuckle fucks ruining my life.
Let's
Two
fucking
questions.
go.
Love us.
Two questions for people who are not familiar with D&D.
Shoot.
One, are we allowed to... The inspirations, we're only allowed... It's one per person, correct?
Yes, it is a single inspiration. If you earn a secondary inspiration, I will do an override with an idea that I had, and I'm going to test to see if it works. Because I've never actually done this before, but it sounds kind of interesting, so I'm going to try it. Long story short, golden chicken.
Golden chicken.
If you have an inspiration already and you earn another inspiration, you will receive the golden chicken. What the golden chicken will do is not just giving you a d20 reroll, it will allow you to roll 2 d20s and pick the higher number like an advantage. And should you decide to roll it as an attack instead, it will give you an automatic critical hit.
Alrighty. That actually answers both my questions. So.
Might as well just relabel this. All right, so we will begin the adventure with a little bit of a preamble, and then I will begin the stories. So, Neverwinter. On the coast of Faerun onto the far east. It's a large trade city full of bustling adventurers and many others. The king of Neverwinter, an elven lord, looks down upon his people, and the people are prosperous. Our story takes place into this large, bustling city of many, many things, many goods, heroes, and tales of old. And we'll start off with the stories of a few simple people. We have with us a traveler, way from the far south, a turtle named Gozen. Turtles normally don't normally stay in one place for a long period of time, and in fact, this one has seen to migrate far to the colder north. Please give me just one small moment. I have to ban somebody real fast.
Lovely.
Gotta love it. How do I handle this? Streaming tools? No. Overview? As you can tell, I don't usually ban people, which I didn't think I had to, so I didn't have my thing up. Stream Manager? Yes. Can I? How do I do this? Excellent. Okay. So back to the to a little bit of story here. Yes, we have Gozen coming up from the south. Hey, Ranver, how's it going? We have Kalon, a nobleman with pretty good amount of money. He is part of the Silver Tongue family, a house that is in the northern part of Neverwinter, along with his aides, including the Kobold Sheets, who has been raised from a little hatchling to serve him. He awaits his father to come back with great news about his adventures far from the west. We have Hobbs, a simple goblin artificer who is currently working on the latest project. While his business isn't doing so well, he's hoping that this might be the next one. Or the next one. Or the next one. Last couple explosions kind of put him back a little bit, but not enough to stop him. And lastly, we have over here Newt, a simple kobold bard who is looking around for any way to make some money, going from tavern to tavern, and getting kicked out because it is a giant kazoo and it is very annoying, but to the few people that throw her a couple of coins, she makes her do. In this time, we now take place down to the entrance of Neverwinter. I don't have a really good picture for this one. I apologize about this. I didn't have enough time to get a lot of stuff, but I'm just going to use a couple of dwarves. The Dwarves of Ironkeep. A dwarven hovel. Not hovel, what am I saying? What's the word for it? Underground city, basically. Is it just a keep?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I think it's just keep, yeah.
Couldn't think of a fancier word to say for it, but a dwarven keep deep underground. It has been locked off for centuries. No other races other than the Ironkeep dwarves could be allowed entrance or exit from within. And, no. Let me go back. Yeah. And because of so, it has kept itself secret for a very, very long time. They would trade with other nations, but they wouldn't allow them within their great iron doors. It has withstood countless battles, centuries of war, and all the time still with the single remaining ruler. King Thorin Stormforge, the Lord of the Iron Keep. He has sat on his throne for these 300 years in his armor, holding his hammer, and he's not moved a single day. Except, recently, he's gone missing. The Iron Keep's doors have split wide open, and search parties has gone all across the land to try to find where the king has gone to. But strangely enough, they don't seem to be as panicked as some would expect there to be. The king just gone missing, but they seem to be more concerned about an excavation project. Something deep within the Underdark has been discovered, and it's become widespread across Neverwinter. Everyone's heard about it. There's some ancient civilization found deep below, underneath the Underdark, where the Drow could not even reach. Others believe that it's just a false saying, it's just rumors. There's no way something like that could be real. The Underdark is the deepest, darkest place on the planet. There can't be anything below it. And others say the entire time they're lying. What's deep down there is the dwarves are creating something. After all, the Iron Keep was known for starting the Great Infernal War. This war ravaged the land and burned most of the forest, giving way to buildings such as cities and kingdoms that live there now. And should the war have not happened, these places wouldn't exist. Elves would still be the majority rulers of most of the Eastern Faerun. So it's believed that the Iron Keep dwarves might even be holding a secret, a weapon, perhaps. Of course, nobody truly knows. After all, the Iron Keep has decided to issue a full declaration of control over this dig site. No one is allowed within, except those from the Iron Keep. They are willing to wage war against all nations if they do not get this right, stating that it is a dwarven bloodline honor to do so. There is no one else that's allowed to do this. Some believe that the king might even be down there, and this whole panic about looking for him might even just be so much as just a smokescreen. But, like I said, we don't know. But we will find out, will we? And so the Iron Keep dwarves march on to the entrance of Neverwinter. And our tale will begin with Gozen. So, Gozen, as you're wandering from the south and north, let me get a good map of Faerun open up for everyone. So we can have a little bit of reference point here. Let's see. What's a good looking map? What's a nice looking map? Actually, I know a really good one. Okay, custom. Ah, my pieces.
They're under attack.
They are. I don't know where they'll attack a lot of things. Okay. Neverwinter is here. This is the point of our story right now. Gozen, I'd say that you are somewhere down... let's toggle off your grid for a moment. You're somewhere down about here. You're approaching Neverwinter. You haven't gone there fully yet, but you're on your way. And on your way there, you begin to see this grand city. But outside of it is war encampments. Large tents, full of armored dwarves, sitting by, talking with each other. Fires raging in the background. They're not attacking the city, but they don't look like they're very friendly. However, they are in your way, and the main path does require you to pass by them. So what is your method there? How do you want to go through this?
As with anything in life, walk tall, walk with confidence, people will let you go anywhere.
Okay. That's a crap road. Okay. Yeah, as you're passing by, a few of the dwarves start looking at you. They start whispering to themselves. As you making your way through. This road's not covering. Whatever. I'll just kind of. We'll just leave it. It's fine enough. It'll work. Like I said, I do apologize. I just didn't have as much time as I was hoping to. There we go. As you're trying to go on by, Gozan, several of the dwarves begin to walk behind you. A couple of them start to make their way to the road, but they're turning to face you. And you hear little whispers. It's like, is that a goblin? It's a goblin with armor, strange armor. It's on the front of their body, but it's taller. A bugbear goblin, maybe? We'll capture it, though. We'll bring it to the Inquisitor. We'll see what they think. And you see several of them begin to draw their weapons and walk slowly toward you. This one over here starts by saying, "Hail, green goblin creature."
Turtle, actually.
A turtle. And they kind of look at each other. Is that what they call it now? Large goblins with shells. Turtles. Drop your weapon and come with us. The Inquisitor would like to have a word with you.
I'm just keeping on my way. I haven't done anything.
You haven't done anything. Oh, but that's the problem. You were clearly planning on to. That axe in your hand clearly doesn't belong to you. A savage goblin like yourself?
So this is how you guys do things up north, huh?
Two of them kind of just whisper to each other, thinking, is this really how goblins act? They seem so calm, almost casual. I will order you once more, drop your weapon and come with us, or we'll make you by force. This one says, make sure not to kill him. We need to make sure the Inquisitor sees these creatures. Right, the battle knowledge from far beyond will be able to be researched. We'll take it apart, see if that shell is worth anything.
Now I'll say this one more time. I'm just a vagrant. This is to protect me against a whole bunch of beasts on the way up here. However, this is not a tool meant for spilling blood. I'm gonna keep my way. I haven't done anything wrong. If there is something, I'll be able to get through it.
Alright. In that case, I'm assuming you're rolling in for intimidation there. That sounds like an intimidating kind of set of words there.
Oh, the opposite of malicious compliance. Peaceful resistance. Fucking flat 10, no charisma on this one.
Flat 10? Okay. Let's see. Beginning at level 1, I'd say a flat 10's enough to get a few of them to push themselves back a little bit. A lot of them haven't seen a creature like you. After all, they've been deep underground for many, many years. Some of them never even seen the sun until recently. So when they see you brandishing a weapon as a hulking goblin with armor,
Goblin with armor.
a couple of them kind of back up a little bit. Do not let it scare you. This one kind of just backs up a little bit. But they don't seem like they're ready to jump at you, but they definitely seem like they're almost waiting for the first move. And then, I'd just say that's about enough time. Enough time for a certain somebody to come right in. And a dwarf comes by. His clothing seems to be more regal. It's less like armor and more like a light armor plating draped with a few robes and cloths. There is a lantern on his hip. He's wearing a rather poofy looking hat with horns on it. Almost looked like a buffalo hat in a sense. And a long golden beard knotted into a very thick braid. He says, "And you call yourselves warriors? Coming out here, harassing a single creature? 8 on 1? And pretty much as this one dwarf sees him, kind of shoulders the other one. And this dwarf at the back speaks up and says, "At the attention of the regent!" And they basically place their axes onto the ground and kneel before them. They're looking up at him, but they're on their single knee. This one walks on forward and says that, "And stand, I'm no longer the regent. The days of fighting are over. You can clearly tell this one here," as he raises his hand toward you, "is not one for aggressive fighting. This is clearly not a goblin, this is a turtle."
Thank you.
My apologies. I'm very sorry for what my allies have decided to, without any provocation, get aggressive about.
And just with a hearty chuckle, apologies, I was playing the shoulder ram through them to get to the city if I needed to.
You're heading to the city. Excellent. So am I. Emmerich Copperhammer. My pleasure. And he doesn't have any weapons on him, and he just walks forward toward you and holds his hand out. You do see a lot of these Ironkeep dwarves get their weapons ready in case something happens, but they don't seem like they're going to attack outright, especially with someone they were just kneeling to, trusting you so openly.
Slinging the great axe over the shoulder to be as non-intimidating as possible in posture, sticking out the other hand to shake him.
My,
Listen,
what a fine grip.
we're not really that frequent up here.
No, not at all. Up here in Neverwinter, it's always cold. A lot of your kind usually likes to stay down south of the Mediterraneans.
All the more reason for me to try to see what we haven't.
Well, besides the geographical issues, I would say that it is an interesting sight to see one of you. Please, let us make our way to the city. It is probably beginning to get very cold out here for you. Getting into a warm tavern might be able to warm you up a little bit more and might make you feel a little bit more welcome than a band of warlike dwarves without a proper leader.
Thanks for hospitality, Pops.
And this one does speak up and say, "Lord Regent Copperhammer, our leader is in Neverwinter right now. We're kept at this point until the negotiations are complete. You know, just in case." And Emmerich speaks up. "In case of what? War? You think a small band of dwarves who've never seen a battle, no less a proper axe, knows how to defeat an entire kingdom? This kingdom of, as I explained it to you before, this kingdom of, I can't think of the word, multicultural beauty? I'm not really sure how to word that one. My apologies. Like I said, I usually write a bunch of things down. But he explains that there are countless races here you've never seen. There are those who look like demons. There are angelic beings with eyes glowing of purity. There are dark ones that you on the first sight attack without ever giving a chance to them, yet they have a heart kinder than you'd ever imagine. There's even elves in there who I am friends with. And do you think that I would allow you to attack my city? Never mind these lowly, pathetic soldiers. Let's make our way forward. And, yeah. Emmerich spent some time talking with you about many things, specifically about what is currently going on in the nation and why the Iron Keep is currently outside of Neverwinter. In particular, there is a not so sort of war that might be established if Neverwinter does not give up its rights to a local dig nearby. It's a bit of a distance, however, apparently, ever since they discovered it, the Iron Keep has been on high alert, and they've been issuing out to every nation the right to this archaeological dig. In fact, Emmerich himself was one of the people that originally discovered it, and is why he is so bent on what is currently going on, believing that if he doesn't have a talk with the lords and kings himself, what's eventually going to happen is a war is going to just start out, and he doesn't want that. He wants this to be something that can benefit the entire world, not just a single nation. Saying that what he's discovered down there is beyond words. Yeah. No. There we go. But as he's taking you through the city, he does tell you, while I'm talking about this, I do have a question. You by chance said that you're a nomad. You're looking and discovering the world yourself, correct?
Basically, nothing much else to tie me down.
Well, I would like to offer you a job. I actually do need some supplies down at the dig site. If you would be willing to, there's a caravan that I need some hired help. Some guards to guard it on the trip there and back. If you're willing to do so, I am willing to pay you 10 gold. Just for the trip. I know it seems extraordinary, the amount of money we're offering, but the Iron Keep has issued no less than 10 gold just for the travels alone for supply routes. We're trying to figure out how to get a steady supply going. After all, we do need things like oil, rope, and, of course, medical supplies. So if you're willing to establish a healthy trade route to and fro, just to assure us that it would be a safe passage, we'd be willing to pay you.
Absolutely. At least it makes half the trip significantly faster on me, and any bit build up the resource before making a bigger expedition is going to make it easier on me after.
It would also mean that, with luck, you might even discover a place that no turtle has been before. I can't speak much more of it here. After all, there are those with ears to the ground, and should they get too much knowledge, I have no idea what they might try to do. So instead, let me tell you this. And he takes you over toward a tavern, the Bubbling Fish. He opens the door and says that we'll talk about it in here. And if possible, we might even be able to see if we can find some more who might be willing for this trip. However, I need you to agree to something. This stays strictly confidential. I don't want a word spoken of this to anyone. No friends, no family. It's important and imperative to keep this a secret, at least until the Iron Keep deems necessary to allow public information. Otherwise, I can't guarantee a war wouldn't start just out of rumors alone. I don't believe the Iron Keep truly has any ability to win any war against the nations now, especially since they allowed humans to grow in population, cities like Neverwinter being built so majestically. But I do believe that, out of desperation, they'd be willing to do anything, including harming those who are not combatants, or setting fire to buildings that should normally not be allowed to be attacked in war times. I do not believe that my brothers have the best interest for other races. After all, they didn't even know what you were.
Can't argue with that. Looks like they're itching just to start to fight with something, but if establishing all this gets a more peaceful business working for you, it's hopefully going to keep them off edge a little bit better.
Alright, as you go into the tavern and sit on down. Let me get a nice little tavern picture here. Yeah, this looks good. This looks like a good picture for this tavern. As he brings you over to one of these little upper tables so you can get a good view across the rest of the tavern. There's business going on as usual. It seems quite lively in here, in fact. And far off, as you two are talking about the deal and about what needs to be done, he sees somebody way down talking over to one of the owners of the bar. Specifically about how the owner is not going to pay for this racket that this kobold brought in. So, Newt, it's now your turn. So, Newt, you just played a lovely, air quotes, song for this entire tavern. You brought your heart out into it. You played that kazoo with every little part of your soul and being, and then the bartender didn't appreciate it. No food, not even a little bit of coin. There was some booing. But hey, there was 2 cheers. That's 1 more cheer than you normally get.
Thank you. I'll be here. Well, until they throw me out.
Which the bartender behind, a balding, larger bugbear, in fact. So he's basically almost hairless at this point. Guy looks like one of those Persian cats.
Ew.
Folds and all. and he's like, I ain't paying for no kobold playing some doohickey music.
Not doohickey music. This is classic.
A classic pain in my ass. I ain't promising you anything. Get out.
Wait, I can do better.
I'm not giving you a second chance. You said that last time, and I gave you an entire slice of cheese. Which I demand payment, and I want it now. Or I'm getting the guards.
I don't think you want it back. It's not gonna get it the right way.
I don't want the cheese, you fool. I want the money for it. That's 5 copper.
How about I just pay some tables?
You know what? Roll me a persuasion. We'll see if you can actually that actually might get you some cash on the side too.
Where's my D20? Okay, hold on.
Come on, I believe in you. Give me the D20. Give me the magic.
Magical.
Oh, 8.
Oh. So with an 8, he sets down a tray for you and tells you to take it to table 5. And as you pick up the tray, that's a really nice looking slice of cheese in there. It's a really nice looking. Where's table 4 again? Did he say? No, 2.
Is it
No, 8.
cheese?
He's like, take it to 5. 5, I said.
Is 5 less than 4?
It's more than 4. Can't you count?
Yes. I learned how to count on all of my hands. 2 hands. 1 hand.
And he takes he tries to take the tray from you.
I got this.
And as you're kind of like wandering about, kind of miscounting heavily, you see that there's a couple of tables up there. And
5.
yeah, you wander around and about, and you see a turtle and a dwarf. They're kind of looking at you.
Excuse me. Are you table 5?
The dwarf says, no, we're not, but I see that you're having a little bit of issues down there.
Was I?
Well, from what I heard, screaming, the bartender said that you were not playing music very good.
Oh, he's always like that.
As it be, you couldn't afford 5 copper?
I'm a little strapped for cash.
And Emmerich looks over at the turtle. What do you think? Seems a little... But we need all hands that we can get.
Hands? I just like drop the tray.
And Emmerich also whispers to Gozen. It also seems like even if that kobold does reveal some information, no one will believe him. What do you think? Rose?
I'm sorry,
Can I
I'm not here. I'm not hear myself being admitted.
No. The dwarf was asking you if you think that Newt might actually be a good pick for a travel job, especially considering desperate for cash, and apparently not a lot of people are very fond of the music. So even if Newt sings about what's going on, no one might believe them.
There is a hard wince. Desperation gets amazing things out of people. Also, you might just become more favorite in the town for writing her off on this.
You're right. Young kobold bard. Newt, yes, Newt. By any chance, are you looking for work?
Is that a noun, a verb, or an adjective?
That is a job offer.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
It is 5 days of travel to, and 5 days of travel from a location. But you need to keep it top secret. Can you do that?
I can keep a secret.
He looks to himself like he's debating whether he tells you the actual price he's willing to pay you. But he relents because he realizes that no, he can't be like that. He doesn't want to be like his brothers. The offer
He was about to be called the fuck out if he didn't.
The offer would be 10 gold for the travel. It is extreme, yes. That's a gold per day of work. However, we believe that the Iron Keep is looking to secure a trade route, so the price for this is negligible in the long run.
Gold?
10 gold.
Is there cheese?
It kind of looks down over at the bartender and kind of like realizes the cheese. You could get an entire wheel of that thing for like 2 silver. Yes, all the cheese you can eat. That my
If you
pockets
make me
will afford.
promises like that, I can put away some cheese.
Okay, I will offer you 2 cheese wheels on top of it.
Deal.
And he gives your hand a good shake, but he kind of realizes maybe he made the wrong mistake. No, he's gonna trust it. Who knows? Maybe you might be a savant in this. Maybe you might be able to surprise him.
I'm a very charismatic kobold. And
But-
she's gonna like look down at the floor at the cheese that she dropped. Are you gonna eat this?
No, go right ahead.
She just like picks it up and sits at the table and just starts mowing it down.
As you're eating the cheese, the bartender is just screaming obscenities at you, to the point where Emmerich says maybe we might want to reconsider our location. Maybe we should find a different tavern.
Trunk one.
Okay. But yeah, he gets up, drinks the rest of his drink, sets the mug down, and starts heading out. And says, "Gozen, follow me, please." And Newt, was it?
Yes.
Okay. So with that, 2 people took a job. Very simple. We're now moving on to someone else, which will require a little bit more work there. Give me a second. Yeah. So, a little bit inside of Neverwinter's inner quarters, up north near the castle area, is a very large mansion, seen fit by several servants and workers, and a particular somebody who is waiting upon news of their long forgotten father, who you have not seen in about 2 or 3 years, Kalon.
Yay.
You've been waiting for them, and apparently, given letters and notes, his war party's actually on the way back home. You'll finally get to see your father once again after such a long time away. But as day turns to night, night turns to day, and your waiting becomes more and more impatient. It takes a bit until you see a single wounded soldier, a human in armor, coated in blood that's rusted away upon his upon the steel, with a broken sword in his hand, and he starts to make his way up toward you. Lord Silvertongue was attacked.
He was attacked?
He was attacked by dwarves from the Iron Keep. Our travel took us down to the east. As we were passing by, we discovered a large cave encampment by dwarves. Well, your father, of course, being a lord of Neverwinter, sought fit to inquisitive about what was going on. Unfortunately, the dwarves became quite hostile, and even after matters became worse, your father, how do I explain this? It began with some of us being taken prisoner, and others being slaughtered on sight. I'm not sure what happened to your father, but in the most dire moments he gave several of us his blade and told us to come find you, to issue an order not to chase him down. We brought back his sword, just as he requested. I'm the last of my band, The rest of them died holding them off. And I've suffered severe injuries. I don't think I'm going to be able to make it past winter.
Going to gently take the sword, my father's sword, from his hands.
Okay, you take the rapier, which, despite the fact that the soldier was coated in the blood of his and his brothers, the sword is completely untouched by such sully. Even the sheath is completely clean and clear. It's snake skin sheath with beautiful blue and green hues to it remains untouched, and the sword itself, clicked within its sheath, is unremovable by anyone other than your father, as you've tried before.
Going to put the rapier on my side and look at him and say, "You've served this family very well."
For truly, Lord Silvertongue, I am honored that you would give me this reprieve. Am I finally relieved from duty, my lord?
You are. Go enjoy the rest of the time that you have.
Thank you. And he manages to stumble his way back into the manor to where he removes his armor for the last time and is given proper medical treatment to the best that your servants can offer him. But as they even come to you and mention that his wounds were very severe, the dwarves do seem like they were attacking most for his vital points. He lost his hand, unfortunately, during the amputation because of the blood loss, but they believe that he'll at the very least manage to survive more than a couple of weeks. If he's lucky, he might be able to make it past winter. However, like they said, the dwarves were attacking for vitals, so he had some severe lesions to him. At the very least, he will never hold a sword again. And for dwarves to be that brutal, it's unlikely that your father would be captured. But you heard his words. They were capturing them. They were putting them in cages. Dwarves don't normally capture their foe. They view being slain on the battlefield as an honor. So something is wrong. It has to do with that cave, that encampment. You need some information. You can't just live like this, can you?
I'm going to look at the people taking care of the man and tell him, take care of him to the best of your abilities and make him comfortable. I'm going to find my father.
And the head butler says, "My lord, Kalos, please do not go out. Your father's wishes were for you to stay safe. You don't even have the protection of his blade. You know as well as I do that that blade will only choose its wielder in the most dire of circumstances."
Be that as it may, I have to go help him. I have to come see what has happened. I have to know if he's alive or dead.
But my lord, I cannot simply set out and allow you to go on this journey alone. And I'd say about that time, you hear your good friend, the hatchling that you personally raised as your friend and fellow and butler that has been serving you skeets, running on by, his little claws tapping upon the stone floor as he runs on quickly, backpack full of gear, whetstones, cooking equipment, things like that, and he shouts, "He will not be alone! It's me, Skeets! I'm coming with him!"
Gonna look over at Skeets.
"My lord, please take me with you. You're on a great journey. You'll need the help. It's true. You can't go alone. Take me with you, please. Please!"
Alright, you can come with me.
Oh, glorious lord. Thank you so much. Right, no hugging. I forgot. No hugging.
Going to just look over at the butler. Well, I'm no longer alone now, am I?
I can't believe that you'd allow this kobold to keep you just like your father. No matter what I say, you won't listen.
Stubborn as an old man.
Just find him, Kalos. If anyone could, it could be you.
I will. I will find him.
And with that, you journey down toward the more open area of Neverwinter. It's different, not wearing your cloaks and your fancy cape and stuff like that. No longer a simple noble, but a man in armor to a decent degree, your cloak and your stuff, searching for any clue about your father. We're gonna do an investigation on this one. We're gonna see how well you can find information.
Ooh. An investigation.
Yes.
Being 8.
Nate, okay. You passed on by, you've heard rumors, you've heard talks about stuff, and as you mentioned the cave, though, the cave specifically seems to get a lot of different riles from people. Some people say it might be, the whole thing that the Iron Dwarves are taking care of. It might even be like some other exciting new cave thing that some group might just have splintered off to or whatever. But you've not been able to find any clear clues. And as you're wandering about, and time continues to go on to day turns to night, you've found practically nothing. And after a moment, you get a little bump into by somebody, and it's a dwarf. He wasn't paying attention where he was going, and he gives you a little bump into, and he, sorry about that. My greatest apologies. Skeets runs up and says, "You will apologize more on your hands and knees."
Alon's going to put his hand up and say, Skeets, it's alright.
As you wish, sir.
I'm going to look at the dwarf and say, hold on a moment. You're a dwarf.
Yes, I am. And he holds out his hand for you. Emmerich Copperhammer, a archaeologist working for Neverwinter, subcontracted by the Iron Keep to look into the recent discovery. It's my pleasure.
The Iron Keep, you say?
Yes, the Iron Keep. As you might have noticed, the dwarves of there have been coming into the city and have been issuing talks with the lords and kings about the current excavation going on, issuing out peace deals and trade unions for them. We're hoping that we'd be able to supply a trade route very soon, in fact.
So then tell me. You said he was a dwarf, right?
Yes, he's a dwarf.
Kalan is going to say this in Dwarvish. So tell me, do you happen to have any idea about the Iron Keep kidnapping and killing people?
He does seem to get very quiet. He looks at you and then says in Dwarvish back. Also, I'm giving you a chicken for that one because that is very clever. That was a very clever move you made, my man. But
I learned Dwarvish for a reason.
yes, he does speak in Dwarvish back, saying that while I do not wish to throw accusations upon my people, especially in such a hostile time, I can say that there have been many actions the Iron Keep has been doing that I disagree with greatly. And one of them seems to be capturing people to use them to discover, by force if necessary, the new world down below. If the dwarves of the Iron Keep captured Your father, as you said. It's more than likely that he'll be given a map, a blade, and told to explore until his body gives out. However, it would also mean that they would have a vested interest in keeping him alive, especially due to the new recent discoveries. However, Lord or not, I cannot say more to you unless we agree that our conversation will be kept to the utmost secret.
Just going to look at him and say, in Dwarvish, as long as you give information to me about where my father is, I don't care what we have to keep secrets.
Then he asks you then if you require payment for this service. You are a lord after all, however, if you wish to, he is offering 10 gold as the Iron Keep has offered payment to others, and he does not wish to take that away from you should you desire such. He's not sure if you wish to live on your own merits and your own finances, or that you're taking from the coffers from your family.
I'll take him up on the offer of the gold.
Okay. And with that, he does, in fact, offer you the deal, and he'll say that in Dwarvish, I would like to find one more, just for the safety. If we can secure a party of 5, I would feel very comfortable allowing the caravan to be taken to and from without any dangers present to be too hostile of a threat. There is great power in numbers, after all. Afterwards, I will sit you all down and explain to you all what the job truly entails and what you are to expect. He then speaks in common and says that we now have 2 extra hands for our travel. And he does wish to receive 1 more before we continue onwards. And he asks if you're all okay with that.
Fine by me.
Sounds good to me.
Alright, with that, he makes his way down the road, constantly looking to and fro for any sort of sound or sight. Which is perfect, considering that in the marketplace, it'd be a great place for a literal explosion. Down the road from the marketplace, Hobbs at his store. I will let you name it however you wish there, Hobbs. Your recent invention, which might have been a vacuum cleaner that could fly, that could suck up all the dirt and turn it into fresh, clean air, might have not had the vacuuming thing work properly and might have just kind of went through itself. And it doesn't seem like it was anything other than just poor materials. But once again, you're just lacking the finances, especially without your father. You don't have access to all that good materials that he used to have. You are dead mute, my friend.
No, I was looking at my notes I had. Yeah, it's name of the shop is Thorn's Tinkerer. And yeah, you see a goblin kind of come out with some of the smoke as goes and opens the windows. And he pulls out a clipboard and immediately starts making notes just outside the store.
Okay. And Emmerich does run on by and asks if you're okay, if you need any help or assistance. That was clearly a massive explosion. And your shop is completely coated in soot now.
I'm fine. He reaches down, he's not even looking at who's talking to him. He reaches down to a case that's on his side, opens it up, and holds down and says, I am not a vandal or a criminal. It was merely a misfunction with an invention. Here's my paper saying I'm allowed to be here.
No need. I have No reason to suspect you. However, it does seem like the guards of this town don't seem to be quite happy with the recent events either. He does look down, and you can even see a couple of guards down the road already talking to themselves and kind of pointing at your shop, a couple of them laughing a little bit. But it does seem like they are very, very unhappy with what just happened.
He looks up then and sees this man, puts the papers back into the case, closes it, and goes, apologies, I'm used to the first questions normally being, why are you here? Why was there an explosion? Or some sort of thing happening, even if it does work.
The damage to your shop is quite great, it seems. Or is that how it always looked? And he looks over at their shop, built with scrap metals and spare wood. In a way, it always looked a little bit slapdash, but it had a charm to it, you know?
More or less, it looked somewhat like that. Ever since boss left to go get some materials, I've had to make do.
Well, I was going to actually request for some devices. Unfortunately, it does seem like I would have to search other places. However, no, I shouldn't. I believe you have your own business to attend to.
If you need simpler stuff, I can get that done. Just, if you ask me for something new and never been seen before, I don't think I really have the materials for that at the time.
Well, I have an idea if you'd like to hear me out. While your shop does need some time to clear, it seems, and I believe getting out of the city would be better for you in the long run, considering it does seem like the guards are beginning to plan out some way to talk to you very soon. And you do need materials. Well, I'm looking for some help. I actually am offering 10 gold to people who would be willing to help port a caravan to and from a location. If you'd be willing to do that small job, it's a 10-day job, which would be 5 to and 5 back. I'd be willing to pay you, and I believe 10 gold would be able to get you plenty of materials that you need. I don't know why, but I have this weird fascination with those who are interested in the art of creation. And you seem to be very smart when it comes down to building tools and things, so I would assume that you would even have some weaponry.
He'll look around and say, let me get my gear, and I need to know, can I leave a message for boss? He'll wonder where, if I just disappear, he's going to assume the guards did something, or that I just got taken away.
Oh, of course, of
I don't
course.
have to worry about that.
And I was actually going to offer you as well, if you wish, a night at an inn. We would begin the travel in the morning. So, if you'd like to write your boss or businessman a letter, you'd have plenty of free time to do so.
Yeah, I'll just tell them, hey, I took a job to get some more materials. I'll be back soon. That way, no worries. Does that sound all good?
Of course. But for the time being, I believe that we should find a more quiet place to discuss the job at hand. If you would mind follow me, I would like to take us to a small inn nearby. Don't worry, it is run by the Dwarven Shield Oath Brothers, so I can guarantee you it would be an exquisite time with plenty of mead and food.
Hubs goes and closes the windows on the first floor. The second floor has a window open still to get some of the smoke out. And he does go and grab his pack just to make sure he has it on hand.
Okay.
But he locks it up afterwards. He goes, lead the way.
All right. So with a little bit of to and fro movement, does take the party to a large inn. There's a few dwarves working there. There's also a lizard woman tabling the bars there. And the dwarf, Emmerich, does tell the inn owner that he would like to rent out 5 rooms for the night. And he does pay up. He says that as well, take the extra money and buy them anything they'd like to eat and drink for the night's stay. It would be his pleasure. But he would also like to ask if he could make sure that the basement here is secure. He wishes to have a long talk with the other guests. The inn owner agrees, and he goes upstairs to lock the door, leaving it just the 6 of you. He sits down at a table and tells you all to take a seat and order anything you'd like. Nah, that's too happy. Nah, that's but good. Nah, fuck it. I'm just gonna go back to my old one for the time being. But as you all sit down, he takes out a piece of paper and he layers it out for you. Before you, on this paper, is a detailed description and mappage of a large spiral staircase made entirely out of stone. The stairs are massive, the size of giant's feet, which shows that this has been in use by something far larger, far, far into the past. He tells you that they've managed to dig out some of the staircase based on old rumors and legends that were found out long ago. They managed to shave off some of the stairs to make a decent passage for caravans and other wagons to help move out materials. However, once they reached the bottom, they thought it was over, until they discovered that once they reached the bottom, they were suspiciously close to the Labyrinth of the Depths, a place that, as you have probably heard from tales and legends, that no one has come out of the labyrinth once they've entered into it. As it turns out, the staircase was on the other side of the labyrinth. Once they took some time to dig around the area, they discovered that the staircase continued to go down, even further, down below the labyrinth itself. And it didn't take much to breach the false stone floor that was placed there by somebody, intentionally, in fact. It seems that whoever placed it there placed this large stone plate only fit for several giants. So it seems like they were hiding something great and important. When the Iron Keep discovered so, they learned that there is a world beneath, including with a false sun. A sun glowing of glass and crystal. I like to imagine the dwarves just made it because they have short man syndrome. A little bit. It would be kind of funny if it turns out the dwarves actually, the giant stone staircases was just because of, like you said, short man syndrome. They're just trying to seem like they're giants.
I mean, it fits.
But the stone slab will definitely be the thing that pushes away from that. Something so large and so heavy would require way more than just several doors lifting it. It would require gigantic hands and beings of mass and muscle. But they do explain that underneath there, gravity seems to switch once you hit to a point. There's beautiful grasses unlike anything that you've ever seen. And the sun illuminates the world with a gorgeous green glow in the mornings. And after a certain period of time, it turns blue. There are many, many different things down there that we have yet to discover. We've even found creatures that look like bird-like beings that run on their twos. However, they're the size of humans, with vicious, sharp teeth that can tear a dwarf's flesh apart, even out of his own armor. Creations that we've never seen fly through the sky, made of not just flesh, but machine. Yet unmanned and not controlled by anything. And despite how long they've stayed down there, setting up a fort and discovering the area around, they've found no intelligent life beyond the creatures. They believe that there's no actual civilization down there. But strangely enough, when the report came out, the king of the Iron Keep vanished. No one knows what happened to him. He has not moved from his throne within 300 years. So clearly, something is enough to gain the king's attention. We do not believe that he is kidnapped. We in fact believe that he may be down there right now. In fact, if anything, we have more secure certainty of such, that if he is down there, he would not be harmed. The Lord has never lost a single battle in his life. Even from a child, he has defeated his father in combat and claimed the throne of the king at a mere age of 60. Just that of a child's age. So what we'd like to ask of you to do is take this caravan down. I know the guards will do everything they can to stop you at the mouth of the cavern, but it is imperative that you convince them to let you through. I will even include a letter, hoping that they'll be able to be reasoned with. If they're not, however, I have no qualms about you making way. The caravan is not just important for the goods of the city or the goods of the fort down there, but I've left a few things that I wish to be delivered to a specific man, and I do not wish for it to be in the hands of anyone else. If done so, I'm fearful that it will be destroyed. Look for a man by the name of Grimtongue. He's quite young, his beard is full of color, but he does have a great mind behind him, and he does understand the danger and beauty of such a place down there. It is imperative that Grimtongue does receive the goods that I have placed in this caravan. And I ask of you, I even beg of you if I need to, that you assure that no matter what, that the Iron King does not reach the false sun under any circumstances. Am I clear?
Crystal clear.
So you want us to stop the king from reaching this false sun?
Yes. Even if you must slay him, I need you to stop the king. I do not believe that his intentions are good. I've left the Iron Keep no more than 200 years ago, after the Great War. I could not see eye to eye with the generals or those who've been complacent in their actions. The countless lives that they've slain in order to stay deep within their hole. On top of that, their superiority complex believing that the dwarves did truly deserve all the surface land has not gone unnoticed by many. Even right now, the reason why there's not been a agreed upon decision on the dig is specifically because of that action. The dwarves demand not just the dig site itself, but for Neverwinter, as well as several nations, to evict the dwarven lands above, or rather, most of the Sword Coast. They've become extremely hostile as of late. And for the Iron King to go missing as they have, I fear that the rumors of there being a weapon has more truth to it than those might know. The giants that sided with the humans long ago, in a time even far beyond that I was alive, I believe that that rumor of them sealing the labyrinth's entrance is in fact true itself. In fact, it is said that the labyrinth itself was built by the giants, and then the Queen of the Drow herself, in order to prevent the Dwarven King from reaching such a place, specifically enchanted it with the magic of the Dark Spider's curse. However, the staircase did remain, as just security in the event that someone is to discover such. Unfortunately for them, their security turned to be possibly the greatest weakness of the defense. And so, should the Iron King discover the false sun, and should it be truly a weapon of war, I have no doubt in my mind, not just Neverwinter, not just the east of the Sword Coast, but I believe that all of Faerun is in danger. I believe that the king will use it for war and control, for what he sees to believe, the surface lands that belong to the dwarves. Do you understand? That is why I've asked of you to never speak of a word that is spoken down here, under any circumstances. Just merely uttering the fact would be seen as treason. On top of that, even the Neverwintering guards would offer you to the Iron Keep guards in order to keep things placid. They probably even know as well a few things that they shouldn't. And should this get out, well,
It would be disastrous.
I
That
see.
that said, I did say that I would only offer you the job after you agreed, but I understand at the same time that with this in mind, it may seem a little much. However, as I said, I cannot honestly say that you'd stand a chance against him, so that is only merely my request. All I ask of you to do for the payment is just to deliver the caravan down to Grimtongue. If you can do that, I will count your job as complete. And I just pray that things turn out good. If you do
Is
feel the call of duty, I'd like to ask of you to, yes, stop the Iron King if he is truly going after the false sun, and if you see to it, to possibly seal off that location yourself as well. There has to be a way to do so. And if not, to destroy the false sun, to get rid of that location entirely, if it is truly a weapon. If not, then merely these are the ramblings of a man that does not believe that positive outcomes are to be done with the Iron Keep. Many a dark, dark-natured secret has gone through these lips, so I might just simply be biased from my old age.
is the Scrimtongue aware of
Yes,
your
yes,
of
I've
your
sent him a
plan?
letter, in fact. I'm also planning to take an early travel ahead of time. I do not wish to stay overnight. My job will merely be to make sure that you are given a proper in-stay here in the morning, and I will give the innkeeper a letter that will detail how to take you toward the caravans to deliver you down, so that you may begin your travel. I will, however, overnight make my trip on horseback. I might be old, but I still have knowledge on how to wield an axe. So if anything comes at me, I'll be able to defend myself forthright. But I need to assure that the passageway down is still safe and secure, and that Grimtongue is very aware that I will be delivering goods to him shortly. If I'm lucky, I will see you there when you arrive.
I'm still game for the travel, and if I end up deciding, I think I might do this whole other half of investigating this place. After all, gives me a chance to test out some of my inventions in a more realistic setting.
Well, I do believe that the Iron Keep would prefer slaves more than servants. I'm sure that they would not actually deny extra hands toward discovery if you so choose to work with them. It could, in fact, even be quite an interesting interaction, seeing other races humble dwarves in their own field. That said, I'd like you all to enjoy a long rest here, and tomorrow we will begin the travel. Or rather, I should say you shall. I will be on my way already to there. You are allowed to stop into any village that you need to on the travel. This 5-day trip does take place with knowledge that every 8 hours you should take some rest. There are several villages on the way. If you wish to mingle with them, receive some extra supplies, or do some trading, that is entirely up to you. The map is the quickest route, but if you know a different one, or you perhaps wish to take a unique path, you may choose to do so. And while the 5-day travel is not set in stone, in case you take an extra day or two, we'd like to ask you to hurry as fast as you can, mainly because the supplies that will be included in the caravan are perishables, and after some time they will begin to rot away. We would like to make sure to receive them as fast as possible.
Understandable.
That being said, I wish all of you have a wonderful night. And yeah, he does take his leave, leaving the 5 of you to look over at each other off the table. You see Skeets basically just going back and forth, bringing like snacks and offerings to Kalon. Even if Kalon like shakes his head, saying no, he'll just go over and grab a different plate.
Kalad's also focused on looking over the sword.
Yep.
Seeing that it is in pristine condition.
It is. And even when you try to draw the blade, it's locked in. You can't pull it out. But you feel weirdly drawn to it. You have a feeling that it will protect you. After all, it protected your father, and your grandfather, and so and so. A weapon passed down from knights to knights with the sole description that it will protect you in your most dire moments.
I'm just going to make a gesture towards the others and say, Official Green, my name is Hobbs. Goblin, I tinker with stuff. Most of it does not do what you ended up seeing in the market. That was an exception.
The most of it doesn't explode.
Doesn't explode on me. It might explode on people it's meant to. All of you are supposed to be exempt because you're on my side, it seems.
There is going to be a hearty chuckle. It goes and reaches to head tussle both the goblin and the little kazoo wheeling shit there with a chuckle of, okay, I'll admit, getting into the group, I was expecting to be the biggest one in the room. I didn't expect to match 3-bit on top of each other's shoulders.
To be fair, your kind isn't normally seen around here too often. more so a rarity nowadays.
3 kobolds in a trench coat.
And still don't line up to being taller.
Oh my god, I forgot to mention. Hold on. I have a thing about that. 1 second.
Do not enable her more. Do not let her
I'm
be
gonna-
in a trench coat with 2 other people. Do you hear how happy she is? Is this what you want to enable?
Oh God.
3 kobolds
There
in a
goes
winter
Mike.
coat.
There goes the mic.
Yep.
I mean,
I
we
knew exactly where that
technically
comes
have
from, too.
2. We technically already have 2. You could get away with a goblin and 2
Wait, can I
kobolds in a
have
trench
that?
coat.
Can I just have that? Can I just have that?
You are enabling her too much.
A little
Can I
bit.
just- Can we just put it like over here by my little calculator?
Divine.
Calculator.
God.
Okay.
You've enabled her too much.
I know
hope
I
you
have.
recognize that.
This is gonna be so cursed.
I'm surprised she hasn't started stacking dice, I'll be honest with you here.
I'm
I mean, hold on.
Don't. You friend.
Okay.
Not like this.
So, I feel like this is a good point to end this little like warm-up session. Like I said before, I haven't had a lot of time to get some map stuff done because work. However, I'm very happy how this is beginning. We got past basically most of the preamble. The next part of the campaign is going to be the actual adventure part. So there's going to be some rolls, some luck. I'm gonna have some more music. I'm gonna actually have some backgrounds prepared, and I'm gonna enjoy watching these psychopaths try to keep the horses, the wagons, and themselves alive. So I can promise you, the next campaign is going to be quite. What are you doing over there? Oh.
This is implying I have ever had a problem keeping my character alive, especially at low levels. It never happened.
Hmm.
I don't like what you're insinuating,
I didn't
sir.
Hmm.
You're talking about how you died at
Focus it,
level
you'll be good.
1 as a fully
Whoa.
armored paladin?
Oh god, I wasn't even thinking about Levy. I was not thinking about Levy. Ah, fuck, right. Why'd I go with high AC Turtle?
Exactly.
So for
I'm at
context,
19, I should be fine, right?
No.
for context for people, yeah, we had some fun stuff happen a long time ago.
In a trial session for a friend that didn't work out for a long-term campaign. I was I think also AC 19 fucking paladin.
Yeah.
Who just got crit gangbanged by 2 level 1 encounter fucking wolves. The worst part being, my character lost the saves on that fucking death rows. While
On top of
also being
medkit.
collapsed on top of a med pack that they carried because they expected to be the support. No one wanted to check, maybe the paladin has healing tools on him.
Hmm.
Hey, chat, if you get a chance to, do me a favor. If you can see this, tell me. ×2? Should I?
All fun and games until the turtle falls over. Because everything just hits past the AC.
Sound like a good number there, chat?
It's gonna be very cursed when I see a turtle just fall.
It's okay. I'm fine.
Listen,
I've got fucking
if the
16
turtle
strength. Who's gonna topple me over?
falls over, we are in trouble.
Just get to your shell. You can get back up next turn.
Get near yourself.
Get to your shale.
I mean, that is an
Alright.
option.
Okay. You know
This
what?
is why we needed a monk, so that I could attract him to my shell and then we just kick him and we create a rose move.
Whee!
There you go.
Yes, but the next session, there's going to be lots of combat, lots of adventure, and I'm promising you this right now, boy oh freaking boy, get ready,
Somebody
because
might die.
I'm about to have a lot of fun. Also, I've been thinking of combat music. I found a really good one. I am ready for combat, baby.
You don't know how much a part of my
Me too.
fucking heart was getting into my throat. Is he about to play Theme of Giga Rosa?
I am not playing Giga Rosa yet. No. We're not going that far.
You don't know how much I'm like, oh fuck, is he doing it?
What the fuck?
That might be the battle theme. Or that might be the boss theme.
Why did you
Yes.
be gone?
Thank you everyone for coming by. Sorry it was so long-winded. Next one's gonna involve a lot more chaos.
Almost like session ones are always mostly exposition.
It always is exposition. But that makes it so then you have a good point of reference